Hey guys, it's Michael. Today is your Monday, May 18th stimulus check and stimulus package update, and we have a lot of information to go over. We're going to start off with key financial and economic news with states reopening and the stock market. We're also going to get into what the chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, said in a 60 Minutes interview yesterday about states reopening, the economy, more stimulus checks, vaccines, so we'll get into that. Then we'll get into the second round of stimulus checks and what's going on there, and then finally I'll answer a couple of questions with the first stimulus check. But before we get started, if you liked the competition that we ran yesterday, where I gave away free stocks to 3 of you, then be sure to like the video down below and comment if you like me to do more. Also, make sure to stick around to the end of today's video where I announced the 3 winners from yesterday's video. So if you watched yesterday's video, you left a comment, be sure to stick around to the end so you can see who won. Anyways, let's jump right into it and let's get into the key financial and economic news. We're going to start off with states reopening and what retailers are doing. So retailers are starting to open up, and a lot of customers in a number of stores, such as Apple, are required to submit a temperature check, wear a mask before entering, and they have to answer a number of questions like if they've had coronavirus related symptoms. So you'll be seeing this a lot in a number of stores and retailers moving forward, because this is going to be how we prevent the coronavirus from spreading even more. It's not an exact science, but at least people are taking precautions on wearing a mask, taking their temperature, so then we can prevent the virus from spreading even more. And with Apple, what they're doing is if someone is not wearing a mask when they go into their stores, well, they'll be providing them with a mask. Also, Apple announced that they will be opening 25 stores this week. Some of the stores will allow customers in, some will just be a curbside pickup service, and Apple stores will be reopening this week in a half-dozen states. So go ahead, look out for that. This is exciting news because states are starting to reopen, stores are starting to reopen, and we'll see how that goes. Also, Dow Jones futures are up nearly 400 points today before the stock market is opening, and this is based off of news yesterday when the chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, says to don't bet against the American economy. This is after he said about unemployment, how it may reach up to 25%, but he said in the long run, don't bet against the American economy. So last week, the stocks were down, so this is a good start to the week, and we'll see how that goes. Now let's get into the 60 Minutes interview with the chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, what he said about states reopening, more stimulus, and the economy. So let's jump right into that. He said that in the long run, in the medium run, in the short run, whatever it is, don't bet against the American economy. Like I said before, he said we don't know how long it's going to take to recover. It could be this year, it might be till the end of next year, but don't bet against the American economy. He said of the people who were working and in February who were making $40,000 a year or less, almost 40% of those people have lost their jobs in the last month or so. So he said the people who have been the most hurt by the coronavirus and job losses are people who make $40,000 a year or less. And that seems wrong. You would think that big corporations should be the ones struggling, but it makes sense because the big corporations are the ones who employ these people. So corporations are just conducting layoffs and letting these people go. So he said that in the next couple of months, job losses and unemployment rates could increase. So unemployment may reach up to 25%, he says. Right now it's at 14.7, so that would not be good, but he says we have to expect that because even if states start to reopen, companies are still going to be conducting layoffs because they're not going to be generating as much revenue because people aren't going to be going to their businesses as much. He also said so job losses and unemployment are continually going to get worse in the next month. So when we get next month's report, he said the report for May, it's not going to look good. In the interview, he also says how the Federal Reserve or the government has to do more. He said it may well be that the Fed has to do more. It may be that Congress has to do more. And the reason we got to do more is to avoid a long-run damage to the economy. He says if something doesn't happen, if the Fed doesn't do more, if Congress doesn't do more and pass another stimulus package, well then it's going to really hurt the economy long term. He's mentioned this a couple of times previously, but he reiterated it last night in the 60 Minutes interview. So this is good news for us with a second stimulus package because either way, the Fed's going to have to do something, cut interest rates, buy back treasury bonds, or Congress is going to have to do something and pass another stimulus package. So this is good news for us with hopefully seeing a second stimulus package. And Jerome Powell says the one thing I can guarantee is that the Federal Reserve will do everything they can to support the people we serve. He said that if that means some relief and stability, well, then they're going to provide whatever relief, whatever stability they need and what they're able to do. He said they're definitely not out of ammunition yet. They can cut interest rates. They could buy back more bonds. That's what they can do without any support from Congress. But they can't do everything, and they need Congress to pass more stimulus packages. He says it's going to be essential that this happens in order for the economy to recover and not drag out the recovery even longer. He said that we may be recovering through the end of 2021, that it may not be back to pre-coronavirus levels until the end of 2021. But what we can do to speed this up a bit is to pass more stimulus and do more with the Federal Reserve. So that's good for us. Hopefully we'll see another stimulus package because it looks like everyone's saying we need one, so hopefully it happens. And the last point from his 60 Minutes interview is that he said that the thing that matters more than anything, more than stimulus packages, more than what the Federal Reserve can do, the thing that matters the most is the medical metrics. It's the spread of the virus. Is there going to be a second wave of the coronavirus? How is states reopening going? Are more people getting sick? He says this is the most important aspect of the economy rebounding quickly. He said the real-time economic data, the data that we're seeing right now, is just a function of how successful social distancing measures are. Because if social distancing is going well and people aren't getting sick, well then that's why we're seeing the stock market rise. That's why we're seeing the economy do better, even though people aren't spending as much money. Because with the stock market, it's been going up and up and up, and the economy is doing so poorly. So many people are unemployed, yet the stock market seems to keep rising. Well, he said this is because of social distancing and positive outlooks of the future. So if there's negative outlooks and there's negative medical data that comes back, states have to re-close, re-shut down, well then that's going to be really harmful for us rebounding very quickly because then more people are going to be unemployed. So basically, he says it is crucial that we look at the medical data and what is going on there because that's going to dictate how well the economy will do moving forward. If medical data looks very bad, well then states are going to have to shut down again. Unemployment is going to keep rising, so it's important that we look at the medical data. So now let's get into the second stimulus package and a couple of updates here, what's going on. So as we all know, the second stimulus package called the HEROES Act was passed by the House. And a lot of you have been saying, well, it's not going to get anywhere, it's dead on arrival, it's not going to pass the Senate. However, a couple of quotes came out from Mitch McConnell and other members of the Senate on a second stimulus package that I'd like to touch on. Because since a second stimulus package has passed the House, now it is ultimately up to the Senate and the President to get a second stimulus package written up, signed, and approved into a law. The House has already done their part. They got the second stimulus package passed. So now we really are looking towards what is the Senate, what is the President doing? So essentially, people think that the bill will not get passed because the Senate said it is dead on arrival. But Mitch McConnell said the other day, he said that we all believe that another bill is probably going to be necessary. He said that he wasn't prepared to commit to any bill or any timeline as of right now, but he says we need to look at the economic data, look what's going on before we write up a bill, before we spend more money. He said we're probably going to need one. We just need to see the effects of the first stimulus package on the economy, need to see how states reopening goes and how everything with the economy is progressing in the next couple of days. They want to see how all of that goes, and they're probably not going to do anything until after they recess for Memorial Day. But the good news is for a lot of us is that everyone in Congress agrees that there needs to be more stimulus. Businesses are shut down, unemployment rates are high, states need money to provide essential services. So the question isn't, will there be a second stimulus package? It's just, what is going to be in this second stimulus package? So that is good. Everyone agrees on that. It's not, will there be one? It's, when will it happen? What will be in it? So it may take a month. We don't know. A lot of us need the money now, but there's nothing we can do to speed this up. And Senate just wants to look at what's going on in the economy before they spend trillions and trillions of more dollars. So basically, you don't have to pay too much attention to what's going on between the Democrats and the Republicans and what's going on there because they're gonna go back and forth on a lot of issues. What we care about is if we're going to get more money. And in order to see if we're going to get more money, you just have to look at the economic data and the medical data and states reopening, because that's going to be what determines if we get one. Because it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter what party you're with. It doesn't matter. What matters is if states reopening doesn't go well or people need the money and unemployment keeps rising, well then we're going to need more stimulus in some shape or form. It doesn't matter what party you're in. All that matters is that the economy and people need the money, businesses need the money, so then we're going to get relief. It's not about what party you're in. It's just about, do we need the relief? Is the economy doing well? And if states reopening and unemployment gets higher, well, then we're going to need more money. So now let's get into a couple of questions with the first stimulus check. So I know a lot of you still haven't received your first stimulus check. The IRS is continually sending out more payments every single day. They're sending out paper checks, and they're also doing direct deposits. So if you receive SSI, SSDI, or any sort of Social Security benefits, according to the IRS, they're simply still sending these payments out. There's no specific date on when you could expect to receive it. They say that they're just processing the information, working with your government agencies, and getting these payments out. I wish I could give you guys a specific date, but there is no specific date yet. This applies to people who are receiving direct deposit, direct express. It applies to all of you. If you receive benefits of any kind, the IRS says that they are simply still sending out these payments, and they're working on it. At this point, there's nothing else you can do to speed up the process. You can't use any sort of online tool or a portal. At this point, we just have to wait for the IRS. It's unfortunate, but that is all we can do right now. So anyways, if you have any questions about the first stimulus check, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. So anyways, that's what's going on in the world today with stimulus checks, with the stock market, with the economy, and states reopening. So anyways, here are the winners from yesterday's video. I'm gonna put them on the screen. So congratulations to all 3 of you. I'm gonna be messaging you to get your emails, and then I'll be sending you your $50 in free stock of Apple, Amazon, or Google. So congratulations to you guys. If you guys want more free stocks and you want me to do this competition and this giveaway more, then be sure to comment that down below and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Anyways, don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you sign up for the Webull investing app. 1 free stock when you sign up for Robinhood. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.